And welcome to the COMC Lake TV High School Football Coaches Show, brought to you by the great folks at Central Ozarks Medical Center, where your health is their mission. Also brought to you by the great folks at SRG Financial Advisors, our veterinary, Surdike Yamaha, Polylift Boat Lifts, and Rough Water Docks. And we're here at the School of the Osage with a great coach, Shannon Jolly here. And Coach, we're 2 games into the season, and you guys had, you had a shootout on Friday night on the road at Moberly, and a lot of points scored there, and you come up on the short end. Yeah,
probably a little misleading. I mean, we had several special teams miscues that really essentially took us out of the game.
Really?
I think defensively and offensively, I think we represented ourselves pretty well, but on the special team side, it was just kind of a disaster. A game that in all of my career, I don't know that I've experienced as many mistakes in that phase of the game as we had on Friday night. It was extremely disappointing.
Wow. So that, as a coach, I mean, that just is a gut punch to you when, everything you practice on offense and defense kind of works, and then that one phase of the game, which is a huge phase, goes south on you.
Yeah, and it's just that battle of trying to establish your special teams, hopefully with developing young players to come out so you can take some of the starters and maybe give them a little bit of relief on kickoff and kickoff return and those types of things. And unfortunately for us, Friday night, it just didn't work the way we wanted to. So it's really going back to the drawing board and getting some of our varsity players back on. And it's not even so much that the young players just didn't execute what they wanted, just outmatched a little bit. And their return game was really good, and they exposed us for sure.
So it's kind of good news, bad news, though, I guess, if you want to look at the bright side of it. It happened at the right time of the season, early in the year where you can look at it, fix it, move on. In Missouri, that's one great thing about Missouri high school football is everybody makes the playoffs. So if you get hot, as the season winds down, you're in pretty good shape.
Well, we talk about it. It's not real popular to talk about amongst everybody on the outside, but we want to be the best Week 10 team we can to get into that field, to be able to be in an elimination game, which would be Week 11. But again, it's part of it, and I was just really disappointed in myself. We went back through. I thought we were in a pretty good shape last week, special teams wise, and what we were doing, and I was wrong, and I made a huge mistake in us putting some things on the field that weren't prepared properly, and it's been a tough weekend for me.
So it's you've been coaching for 26 years, something like that. When you have a game like that, does it wear on you? Does it keep you up at night going, why did I do this, or why didn't I do that, or something like that?
Yeah, this one did, and but there's a multitude of reasons. I mean, when you go in and you feel like you put your 2 main, positions, your offense and defense on the field and put them in successful situations, our defense actually played pretty well other than a couple big plays that they exposed us with, and but scoring 37 points, you can absorb those. But giving up 2 or 3 touchdowns or scoring opportunities in special teams is something that it's going to be almost impossible for anybody to overcome. But yeah, on the weekend it does get to you a little bit.
Yeah, but again, that kind of shows that you care, though, right? I mean, you're not just mailing it in. Well, and do you want that to eat on the players a little bit? Do you want them to be thinking about that over the weekend, or would you rather they just forget that, let that go?
That's either the kids are committed, you've got kids that are committed and it's important to them, or you're probably not winning a lot of ball games. So, you want kids to go ahead and rebound and be resilient, but at the same time, anytime something's important to you and you don't win or it doesn't go right, it's definitely going to have an effect on you. And especially, at my house, my family's invested and involved, and we've been doing this a long time, so it affects everything on the weekend.
Absolutely. Now, that's a big part of it that we don't talk about a lot, the family of a coach, and how important that is to have that love and that support that you can go home to when you lose.
Yeah, and that's it. We're going to skip over that one a little bit this week because, when your wife and children are sitting in the bleachers or they're sitting within earshot and they hear some of the things being said, and I'm not even talking about me, I'm just talking about whether it be the players or just being said. I think you see what our culture's, kind of turning into. Everybody has an opinion and a voice, and it's difficult. And Friday was a really tough tough Friday night for my wife and my daughters, and we work through that, but that's what everybody says you sign up for.
Oh, that's tough. Okay, so this is the COMC Lake TV High School Football Coaches Show. We're here with Osage Indians coach Shannon Jolly. Another big game coming up this week. We've got tough team. We'll talk about that right after this. At COMC, your health is our mission. Central Ozarks Medical Center is growing in our community with a new dental location to serve you in Eldon and a new location in Loring. COMC also makes your children a priority with a mobile dental unit serving schools in rural areas where access can be a challenge. COMC also offers OBGYN, sports medicine, pediatric, and behavioral health care. Get more info on how COMC can help you at centralozarks.org. COMC, where your health is our mission.
Purchasing a boat is a pretty big investment, and when you purchase a Rough Water dock, you're protecting that investment for years to come. Rough Water Dock has been your trusted dock builder at the lake for over 30 years, specializing in custom docks that are built to withstand the rough waters of the Lake of the Ozarks. Rough Water is a full-service dock builder offering commercial construction, dock additions, swim docks. They're Amarin certified and fully insured. Rough Water Dock, the peace of mind you want and the protection you need.
Your furry friends are more than pets, they're family, and at our veterinary, we understand that. With multiple locations, we can service your pets when and where you need it. Our team of professionals offer routine wellness, orthopedic care from broken bones to joint repair, and even emergency services. We are ready to welcome your pet to our family with medical or preventative care. Our veterinary, with 6 convenient locations, the team providing exceptional care for your pet when and where you need it.
And welcome back to the COMC Lake TV High School Football Coaches Show. We're talking with head coach Shannon Jolly of the Osage Indians. So, Coach, you've got a juggernaut coming up this week. This Blair Oaks team, they're good every year. They won the state championship 2 years ago, and you've got them on the road this week, and that's always a tough task.
Yeah, I always like this week. I think it sets a different standard, and I think your kids you know, you play some teams, you think, well, you may have this advantage or that advantage. The margin for error against a team like this is just minimal. And, you know, if you don't have your best week of practice and you don't set high expectations going in, it's going to be really tough. So the main thing we're trying to do this week is to try to keep all the noise away from our kids and let them know that they can win this game. And we're going in it to win the game. It's not about just being competitive. And you hear stories about teams, you know, overcoming adversity and winning games all the time, and that's what we talk about with our kids this week.
But I think that's one of the things that makes you such a great coach. You don't look at going into a game against a Blair Oaks as, oh gosh, we got to take on them. You're looking forward to it, and I think that passes on to the players, doesn't it?
Well, I think I learned a long time ago, if you do get fortunate enough to get into the state playoffs, you know, you want to win a state championship. You want to move forward. And if you want to move forward, then you're going to have to play teams like Blair Oaks, like Jeff City, like some of those teams that are going to push you to be better than you normally would be, maybe. And so, no, I don't shy away from that. But at the same time, it's convincing our kids when they're hearing all week long, oh, you're playing Blair Oaks or you're so-and-so, instead of understanding it's a privilege to play good competition.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so Blair Oaks good year after year. What is it that they do that they can be so good year after year?
Well, they've established a culture in their community where there's a lot of sacrifice that goes into playing football at Blair Oaks, and our kids have done a good job and stepped it up this year. It's just part of that thing is when you compete against someone, you want to be putting in the same or more time than they are with the same or more resources that they have. And so, you know, they've created a great culture, a winning culture in Wardsville, and they take a lot of pride in it, not just the school, but the community. And, you know, hats off to them. They've done an outstanding job. And
that's what you're doing right here, right now. You're number 2 back at Osage.
That's a plan. I mean, you come back and you try to do things. You may not go in and do them exactly like Blair Oaks does them or Lamar does them or Webb City, but, you know, you definitely look and see what those programs are doing, and then you try to infuse that into your community and your school. And it's been a good year. It's been a good year and a half. It's been a good 2 weeks. And I'm not sure the difference of being 1-1 right now and 0-2 for us is, other than we've identified some things that we got to work on, and this week is a great test for us.
Absolutely. There he is, head coach Shannon Jolly of the Osage Indians at Blair Oaks this week. Coming up next, we're going to cross town, go over to Camdenton, and talk with Lakers coach Jeff Shore.
While the financial services industry for years has focused on products, pricing, and performance, or things we refer to at SRG as the how, our focus for our clients has always been around their why. And without fail, over all these years, those whys have centered around family, occupation, and recreation. Think legacy issues, retirement, or achieving a work optional lifestyle, and checking off those important things on that recreational bucket list. Our foundational approach remains a focus on the things that matter most to our clients and the things that together we can control. And where those two things overlap, that's where we live and work every day. That's SRG Financial and the mile marker formula.
Polylift Boat Lifts. Boaters everywhere have relied on Polylift boat lifts to raise their boat up and out of the water time and time again. Polylift boat lifts are made of the finest materials and offer a lifetime warranty on the tanks. Stop by Polylift and see the huge selection of wet steps, water toys, and dock accessories. You can even shop online at polylift.com. Polylift Boat Lifts. You know what they say.
We don't time to build boat lifts. We build Polylifts.
And welcome back to the COMC Lake TV High School Football Coaches Show. You can see we've made our way over here to Camdenton. We got the Lakers practice field behind us, and all smiles in Lakers land this week because that was a phenomenal comeback win on Friday night to beat Kickapoo. That, man, as a coach, you have to love that.
Yeah, felt good. I mean, the kids played fantastic. I think the thing you're most proud of is just how the players kept battling. You know, I mean, players win games, and they did a great job of just continuing to fight, never gave up. You know, it didn't look very good. You're down 21-3 at the start of the fourth quarter. Yeah. And we'd hung in there. Our defense had really played really well. Allowed just a couple of big plays, but really had played a fantastic game all night long. Kept giving the ball back to the offense, and we knew they were getting tired, so we felt like we could get it done. But to actually get it done was a different story. You know, it felt great. Yeah,
21-3, fourth quarter, and then what sparked the comeback? I mean, because you'd been pretty much handled all night until then.
You know, we'd moved the ball, had a field goal early in the game, which ended up being the difference. You know.
Yeah.
And had another chance at one, and it stalled out on a couple of drives. We were picking up first downs, and the defense, like I said, it had given the ball back to us all second half. They scored one touchdown in the second half, but they scored it quick, unlike it was like the second play of the drive. And other than that, I think we 3-and-outed them, the rest of the time. So their defense had been on the field a long time, and we knew they were getting tired. You know, so in our offense, we go so fast that eventually we hope it takes effect, and it usually does, and you could feel it. You could feel them getting really tired. So we kept knocking, and like I said, the kids just kept faith, and I think finally just broke that barrier, and once we did, it was on.
So much of that comeback confidence, though, comes from the coaches down. So do you have to teach that, or is that just part of your demeanor on the sideline? Where does that come from?
I think all coaches preach that, of course, but I think it's several phases. It's our tradition here. I mean, it's a little bit of the magic in the purple helmet, I say.
Yeah.
That we believe and always have. And then, of course, coaches preach it, but mainly it's the players. And they've seen other teams do it before them. I think that's the advantage we have, and they believe they can and have done it themselves before. It came up a huge comeback last year in a ball game as well. So, but mainly it's the players. They just kept playing hard and had faith in what we were doing and just really played with great effort.
You are a Laker man for life. You won 2 state championships here as a player, coaching now. So that was a great comeback. You mentioned a great comeback last year. It was in Springfield, I think, against Glendale.
Yes.
Very similar to this. Where does that rank in comebacks last week? Is that pretty high?
We've been having several of them the last couple of years.
Yeah.
I don't know. The latest one's always the best one, But we've had some great ones. We went over. You and I have talked about those. I can rattle off a bunch of things all the way from 1977.
Wow.
To 96 on a Miracle Hail Mary, to 2005 to 99 to 95. Come back 14-0 in the state championship game. I mean, I could go longer than we have on this show.
Yeah.
So there's been a lot of great ones, and that was the latest one. So right now, that's the best one in my mind.
Last week was the best one. Okay, so last week in the books, you're 2-0. You've beaten Kickapoo, and we've got Waynesville coming up this week. We'll talk about Waynesville when we come back here on the COMC Lake TV High School Football Coaches Show right after this. At COMC, your health is our mission. Central Ozarks Medical Center is growing in our community with a new dental location to serve you in Eldon and a new location in Lori. COMC also makes your children a priority with a mobile dental unit serving schools in rural areas where access can be a challenge. COMC also offers OBGYN, sports medicine, pediatric, and behavioral health care. Get more info on how COMC can help you at centralozarks.org. COMC, where your health is our mission.
Welcome back to the lake and welcome back Free America. Hi, this is Greg at Surdak Yamaha in Osage Beach. Here at Lake of the Ozarks, we wear what we want, we eat what we want, we drink what we want, and we have more fun than we deserve. This place is the ultimate statement of freedom. For 50 years, it has been my job to make sure you have as much fun as I do. Yamaha Wave Runners make that easy. Yamaha Wave Runners last longer, hold their value better, and provide safe family fun better than any watercraft ever made. It's also time to join the Surdak Boat Rental Club to enjoy up to 50% savings on your rentals. Visit Surdak Yamaha on Osage Beach and let my friendly crew help put you on the lake. Supplies are limited, but your freedom isn't. That's at Surdak Yamaha in Osage Beach.
You ride on our reputation at Gary Surdak. You ride on our reputation. You ride on our reputation.
And welcome back to Camdenton. We've got the Lakers practice field in the background. We're talking with the man, the myth, the legend. It's head coach Jeff Shore. Maybe in his last year, there's rumors out there you may be retiring.
Yeah, we've talked about that a little bit. So
yeah.
that's probably the case.
Okay, well, there you go. If that is the case, this would be your last year as Lakers coach. And what it's been about 50 years of Shore's head coaches of the Camdenton Lakers. So it would be the end of an era. It really would.
Yeah, it would. It's a long tradition there, you know, so a lot of consistency.
A lot of great stories, of which I have robbed you of because I've made him and his dad sit down and talk to me about some of those great coaching stories. A lot of those great games were against the team you're playing this week, Waynesville. A lot of people don't know it, but in further back history, Waynesville was a huge rival for you guys.
Yeah, you've done your homework.
Yeah.
I mean, Waynesville traditionally has been our biggest rival. You know, throughout the years, like I said, from 75 on, talking Laker football. So they've been a huge rival. You know, we were not allowed to say the word. It's the W word. You know?
Really?
You were not allowed to wear purple at school back when Pappy was coaching here, and still aren't. So you know, there's a lot of things that are you know that play into that rivalry. Fortunately, we've been on the good side of it.
Yeah.
You know, for the most part as of late. So that's been good, but they look really good on film. They're playing really hard. They won a big game last week.
Yeah.
What I noticed about them is their effort level. They're playing with great effort, and they're very fast on defense. You know, that's going to give us some issues. And offensively, they've got a real nice rhythm going. They're running a wing tee, which is a little unusual. A lot of running the football, try to keep it in their hands, but they're coming off the football hard. So. They look like a really good opponent, and they won last week, and they'll be at home. So we expect a great ball game. Yeah, they won 46-22 last week over Parkview, so that's got to give them a little confidence. What do you want to do going in against them? What do you need to do to win? I think defensively first, we continue to play like we're playing. Our defensive line and our defense is playing with such great effort. I mean, they're flying to the football. I'm so proud of those guys. You know, right across the board from the front line to the D-backs are really playing hard. Those guys have done a great job, and you know, getting the ball in our hands on offense. And offensively, we've got to take advantage. They're going to be in a lot of man defenses, and you know, hopefully we can hit them on some big plays. Yeah. And get behind them a little bit, and so those kind of the two things that you're looking at for Friday night. Yeah. So as big a win as it was last week on the road, Kickapoo, your first week win, which was a blowout win over Rolla. Rolla bounced back last week and beat a really good Bolivar team, I think. That makes that first week win even more impressive. Yeah, and a lot of people think that's coach speak. We were talking about the Rolla game, but Rolla is a good football team. Like I said, they had all their defense back, had held us to 14 points last year, and we played a really good ball game. Our kids came out and played well. So, they were, as we talked about earlier, nothing's ever as good as it seems and nothing's ever as bad as it seems. And Rolla's a really good ball club, and they showed that last week. We just happened to play really well and we're ready for a game. And to our kids' credit, played a sharp ball game. So, that does make that win good. You know,
Yeah.
it's good to be 2-0, especially starting out your first 3 on the road.
Absolutely. First three on the road. This is number 3 coming up this week at Waynesville. Then you'll have your first game back at home. Then you're back on the road again the next week. The good news about that is have a lot of home games or more home games later in the season. So that's good. So there you have it from the man, the myth, the legend, Jeff Shore, as the Lakers look to stay undefeated this week on the road against Waynesville. And remember, we've got 2 Camdenton Lakers regular season games for you right here on Lake TV this year against Bolivar and then against Lebanon. That's right, that'll be fun. So that is your COMC Lake TV High School Football Coaches Show, brought to you by the great folks at Central Ozarks Medical Center, where your health is their mission.